Hey guys, so today I'm going to show y'all how to do these large boho knotless braids. This is one of my most booked styles. This is my standard density and parting for them, but you can also get them with triangle parts or fuller, whatever you desire. So let's get straight into it. So I start off on blow dried hair. I usually put it up in a ponytail. It just makes it easier to part for me because all the hair is not in the way. And I'm just showing you guys the products that I use. Only 3 products that I use to do braids. So right now I'm just going to part straight across. I usually try to go right where the ear stops at. Once I get my part how I like it, I go over it with my shining gem, and then I just repart it to really define the part. Make sure there's no flyaways in the part or anything like that. I'm really a perfectionist. I'm very serious about my parts, so this really helps me get the perfect part. Then I'm just going to part down the middle, and that first row right there will be 2 big braids. Usually I go over all my parts with shine and gem just to really define them. And then I also go over the base, the root of the hair, with shine and gem as well to make it very neat. So I'm going to do this part a little bit slower so you guys can really follow. I'm just going to comb the shine and gem through her root just to make sure it's all up and through there. Then I'm going to take this section in the middle. I separate it into 3 sections. Take the section in the middle and put it over the right piece. And right here, I'm just fixing my grip on the hair. Then I'm going to take my first little piece of hair. I'm underhanded, so I'm going to feed the hair in under. Then I'm going to take my thumb and put it under that middle section and then pull the left section through. Just like a regular braid, all you're doing is feeding in braiding hair. And then I'm going to pull the right section to the middle. I hope I'm explaining this well, but hopefully you guys can follow along with what you're seeing. And right here, I'm just fixing my grip. I'm not changing anything. Throughout this process, you'll see me go through and grab her actual hair pieces and just pull them. This just tightens the braid a little bit more and secures it so it's not hanging or anything like that, because I really hate when braids are just loose and hanging. I like mine to be very tight and secure. From their perspective, it's knotless braid, so it's not very tight or causing tension. But for the actual foundation of the braid, I just like it to be secure. So I'm just going to continue braiding down as you usually would. I'm just going to feed in little pieces as I go until I get to my desired size. I try to feed in them all at the top to get to my desired size, and then, you know, as the braid thins out, I'll feed in more. And don't mind the redness on her scalp, y'all. As fair skinned people, our scalps turn red at any little touch. So it's nothing major. It's just how it is. So when I finish the braid, I'm going to take my handy dandy edge brush. I love these brushes. And I'm just going to dip it into my edge booster. Make sure you get the edge booster that says rich, moisture, and shine. They're all different. You really got to read them to see which one you're using. But I just like to go in after each braid and brush a little bit of the edge booster. Not too much because you don't want product buildup, but just a little dab, and then brush it through there. And this just makes it look very, very neat and lays it down. So basically, I'm going to do the same thing on every single braid. You can see it a little better from this angle. So I'm just going to let this play out and let you guys watch what I'm doing. This is me trying to show you guys the size of the piece I'm using. My camera won't really focus that great, but it's not a super big piece. It's just like a little piece of hair. You can really just use your discretion to see what kind of size of hair piece you want. Some people use bigger sizes to start off with. Some people use smaller ones, but this is just the size I like to use. It really takes trial and error to decide how you want to start off or what size pieces you want to feed in to get to your desired size of braid. Right now I'm going through and separating the front and back of her hair. I like to do this. It helps me with my parts. Not everyone does this. Everyone has different techniques, but this is just what I like to do. So I'm just going to let you guys watch me part her hair off. Everybody's head is different, so I just use my discretion to see how much I want to part off. I make sure to do enough to where there can be one braid on each side closer to her ears and then 2 braids at the top. And when we get to the top, you'll see what I'm talking about because that explanation probably sounds crazy. So right now I'm going to part off just enough to do 2 more sections and then one little one at the top. I'm not going to show you guys me braiding these because it's nothing new, it's just the same thing. But basically I like to do 3 sections in the back, really 4 because there's just 1 at the top, but 3 full sections. So it'll be 2, 3, 2, and 1. 2 at the bottom, 3 in the middle, 2 on top of that, and then 1 to finish off the back of the head. It might change just depending on people's head size and head shape. Usually it only changes about by 2 or 3. So I don't put a curl in every braid. I kind of have a strategy as to how I do it. On the second row, I'll put a curl in the middle braid, right where about the shoulders are. And then on these 2 right here, I'll put curls in both of those right around where the shoulders are as well. And the braids she got are butt length, so I'm going to feed in another piece of hair around the mid-back area. I usually use my styling chair to measure where I feed the hair in at. So right at the top of the chair will be the mid-back area. That's where I'll feed it at for butt length. If they're getting like knee length or thigh length, I'll feed in another piece as well at the bottom of the chair. And I usually always do a middle part unless they request otherwise. And you can flip it over any which way. So I'm going to use my edge booster this time to really get the perfect middle part, get it very straight, get it very clean. Middle parts can be very tricky, so usually I just try to base it off of the tip of their nose, and you might have to redo it a few times. You just gotta really look and make sure it's centered in their face. So this part is what I was referring to when I was saying one at the bottom and two at the top. So I'm parting off the one at the bottom right now, and then there'll be two above that, which will make 3 on each side. These braids aren't supposed to be super full, just something cute, quick, and fun. So you can request to get them fuller, but this is just my standard size. So for this front section of the hair, I only put a curl in the top braid closest to the face. I don't like to put a ton of curls because they tend to get tangly, so just a few here and there. So right here, I'm just putting the curls over her shoulder because I'm getting prepared to dip the braids. I don't dip the curls with the braids, only the braids. Then I'm going to go through with some Shine and Jam and put that on each of the curls just so they're not frizzy and they're really defined. Right now we're reaching the end of the process. I really thank you all for watching and hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and were able to follow along. Please bear with me. This is my first video, so they'll only get better from here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and turn on the post notifications because I will be posting a lot more. Right now I'm just going to show you one of my favorite styles for these braids. They're very versatile. The style I like to do the most is this half up, half down with 2 out in the front. Very cute, very lightweight.